right, at this time, I'd like to call the March 18th, 2024 Planning Board meeting to order. We have quorum, so if everybody will please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We will jump into item 2A, approval of the minutes from the February 19th, 2024 Planning Board meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review those minutes? And if so, is there any corrections or questions or concerns? If not, we can go straight to a motion.
Move they be approved as written.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions before we vote on that one? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving on. Okay, this time we'll move into the public hearings section of the agenda. Public hearings are a time for petitioners to present requests and for the public to state their concerns and voice opinions in favor of or in opposition to these requests. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium, sign in on the sign-in provided, state your name and address for the record before speaking in regard to this request. At this time, I'm going to make a motion to recuse Planning Board member Nolan Perry from agenda item 4A. Michael Blakely, Drafting and Design Services at 710 South Main Street and 115 Hillcrest Drive, pins 0656942544 and 0656941516, REZ 2024-02.
I second that motion to recuse Nolan from this item.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You, sir, are recused. All right, at this time we'll move right into item 4A, zoning map amendment. I'm not going to read all that again. This is for REZ 2024-02. The purpose of this agenda item is to consider a requested zoning map amendment for a total of 0.79 acres located at 710 South Main Street and 110 Hillcrest Drive from the Town Center Residential Zoning District to the Town Center Zoning District. Any further information provided by staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, Board. I'm submitting the agenda abstract and supporting documents into the official record of the town. First item before you tonight is REZ 2024-04, rezoning at 710 South Main Street and 115 Hillcrest Street from the Town Center Residential Zoning District to the Town Center Residential Zoning District. This rezoning is in an effort to change the plot plan and conditions from a previous TCR rezoning. Our staff recommendation is as follows. Staff recommends approval of the proposed zoning map amendment as it is reasonable and in the best interest of the public for the following reasons. The requested zoning map amendment is consistent with the 2040 Community Vision Land Use Plan use designation of Town Center Residential. 2, the requested zoning district supports infill development and reinvestment in downtown neighborhoods per the 2040 LUP's recommendation policy 2.1, encourage infill development and redevelopment inside the town limits. 3, the requested zoning district is complementary to the residential and institutional uses in the general vicinity. And number 4, the master plan and associated narrative demonstrate compliance with the zoning conditions being offered and the goals of the Town Center residential classification as described in the 2040 land use plan. I believe we have a couple of representatives here tonight, so if you have any questions for them or for me, I'm happy to answer those.
All right. Anybody have any questions for staff before we open the public hearing? I think we're good. Awesome. All right. At this time, we will open the public hearing. And so I would like to ask anybody that wishes to speak in favor of REZ 2024-02 to please come up to the podium. And please make sure you state your name and address and make sure you sign in on the sign-in sheet so Eva can get it.
Preston Perry with Pine State Construction Group. Just wanted to thank the board for reviewing this. We look forward to feedback and bringing the project to fruition. Here to answer questions if you can.
Anybody have any questions? And if you could, sir, please just state your address on the mic so we have it for the.
My personal address, 108 Hillshire Court, Fuquay-Varina.
Thank you. Any questions? I think you're good, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. At this time, does anybody else wish to speak in favor? If not, I'll open it up to if anybody wishes to speak in opposition to REZ 2024-02. I'm going to go with no. So at this time, we will close the public hearing, bring it back to the board, and if there's any questions, comments, concerns, or motions.
I will just make a quick comment. You know, that's that nice old stone house. It'll be sad to see it go. The Bradford pears in front of it won't be sad to see those go. But it's one of those things. It's you know, it's progress, but also being that close to the historic district, those are the kind of things that are, you know, we do make some trade-offs as a community when we you know, take out some of these older buildings. But that's the only comment I have.
Okay, fair enough. Any more comments or concerns? Anybody gonna motion it?
Motion to approve of REZ 2024-02, zoning map amendment at 10 South Main Street and 115 Hillcrest Drive from Town Center Residential TCR zoning district to the Town Center Residential zoning district TCR. The proposed amendment is consistent with the 2020-2040 Community Vision Land Use Plan and reasonable and in the best interest of the public for the reasons identified by the staff.
All right, before we second, I'm just gonna amend it, and make sure you, 710 South Main Street. I think.
Oh, didn't say that, my bad.
Just to make sure we're all on the
710
same
South
page
Main
and
Street,
everybody's
yeah.
all clear. We don't get in trouble with a technicality. All right, we got a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion needed before we vote? All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to welcome Mr. Perry back. Back. All right. Item 4B, Town Code Amendment. The Town of Fuquay-Varina Land Development Ordinance Amendment number 26. Wow. CTA 2024-01. Purpose of this agenda item is to consider a requested zoning map. Oh, dang. We messed up my sheet a little bit. So we're going to review a code text amendment that staff is going to request.
Sounds good. All right.
Sorry, my sign-in sheet's a little bit.
That's all right.
So I'm going to improvise.
I'll get you through the rest.
I think you can handle it from here.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm submitting the agenda abstract and supporting documents into the official record of the town. Before you tonight, we have the first text amendment of 2024, but it is the 26th amendment to our code so far. It touches a number of different places and sections in the LDO. If you have questions on any of them, I am happy to address them. Here's some highlights on the slide in front of you, but it's about 20 pages long, so there's lots to cover. Our staff recommendation is as follows. Staff recommends approval of the proposed town code amendment. It is reasonable and in the public's best interest as it improves upon the land development ordinance intent to modernize, provide sustainability, and allow for ease of use and enforcement, specifically concerning the town's current standards.
All right, we have any questions for staff before we open up the public hearing? Boy, I think you're good to go.
Thank you.
All right, we will open up the public hearing. And I would invite anybody wishing to speak in favor of CTA 2024-01 to come up and speak. All right, seeing none, we'll move to the opposition side of things. Does anybody wish to speak in opposition of CTA 2024-01? All right, it's gonna be an easy night. Not seeing any, we will close the public hearing and bring it back to the board. I just had a couple of questions, because I thought this was a pretty good CTA amendment. It's like 2 CTA amendments that are really good. I thought, like, opens up a lot of design flexibility, which is good. But I noticed that the modulars for the schools, they're no longer at least the way I interpret it, is they're no longer a special use permit, and they are now a use by right. Is that the way that was kind of
So
structured?
in reality, the town does not issue building permits to Wake County schools. So having a requirement for Wake County schools to have modulars wasn't effective because Wake County issues the permits, or the county does. So for one, that wasn't realistic. The other thing is generally schools that are going in for modulars are not temporary. So that it wasn't fitting to have that. All of the other use for modular units are temporary, right? For medical uses, for storms, for construction offices, those kind of things. So it didn't fit there naturally, and we also admitted that even when it was being used for churches as a modular classroom, it wasn't necessarily temporary. It was basically there until it's not there anymore. So we felt it was better to just permit it by right in the O&I district to be more really realistic with what the applicable uses were.
So even for like churches now, they can add those modular units and not need a special use permit for that moving forward.
I believe in the O&I district.
Is that if the use is a classroom, right?
Right.
Okay, so they can't like throw up a bunch of modular things and use it for storage or
No.
whatever, they have to actually use it for
Right.
classrooms.
Right. Okay, yeah, I thought that was a good amendment, everybody. It's like the schools, whenever they first come in, they might as well just have it on site plan, 'cause they're coming with it.
And they never go away.
Yeah. I've seen a couple, but it's very rare that they actually do ever go away, so, yeah. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything with staff? Like I said, I thought it was a pretty good amendment. I thought it cleaned up a lot of good things. I learned a couple things that I didn't even know were in there, which is kind of cool. It's kind of, it felt nice to get rid of all the paper copy references and all that stuff. Yeah. All right. There's no questions, concerns. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, a motion to recommend approval of CTA-2024-01. Amendment number 26, an amendment to the Town Code of Ordinance, Part 9, Land Development Ordinance, as presented and recommended by town management and staff. Text amendment improves upon the Land Development Ordinance and is reasonable and in the best interest of the public for the reasons identified by staff.
Awesome. We have a second.
Second.
Oh, we got 2 seconds. All right, super. All right, before we bring it back to motion, does anybody have any other questions, concerns before we vote? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. All right, we are done with public hearings. We'll move into item 6A, an administrative report. The purpose of this agenda item is to receive information on the disposition of the planning board's recommendation to the town board of commissioners since the February 19th, 2024 planning board meeting. Any questions there? Concerns? No? All right, Barbara, you're up.
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Where you got it down? Town board is